Hi, I'm... never mind. Wait! That's more like it. Hi, I'm Nathaniel Hoover, a staff writer for GameCola.net, and this is a bonus video, which includes bloopers, glitches, tricks, and all manner of other, hopefully, interesting things that didn't make it into my final playthrough of Mega Man 6 for one reason or another. Also included special behind-the-scenes featurette about how I make these videos. It'll probably bore you to death. You know, life moves pretty quickly sometimes. If you blink, you might miss it change colors. Now, the obvious question is, why does Mega Man teleport in so far away from the boss? There are spikes and enemies and bottomless pits he has to face that he could just skip if he... Wait, you're probably wondering about the colors, aren't you? Aw, well, we can answer that other question later. Ponder it for now. The colors are different because of video editing! When you revisit any stage that has a beat part in it, the stage becomes a different color. This is very nice, it's visually interesting, gives you a little bit more replayability, or at least a little more tolerance for replaying a stage when you got to the very end and you missed the beat part you could have collected by going up instead of down, or down instead of up. So it may not be a completely different experience of playing through the stage, but at least it's a different color. And now we're back to the original color scheme, for comparison's sake. I'll show you a few more examples of these before we get to things blowing up! But in the meantime, let me just explore that one question that we brought up. Why does Mega Man teleport in so far away from the bosses? A couple of ideas. Number one, there's some sort of crazy anti-teleportation force field in place, perhaps generated by the enemies themselves, which would explain why Mega Man would need to go through and blow up some of them, or at least get past enough of them so he can find a spot where it's clearer, or clearer to teleport in. Perhaps. Side note, notice how the physics are a little bit different when I'm flying through the water versus flying through not water. Another possibility, number two, is that I need to dodge when things are shooting at me. Number two, the bosses aren't the only objective. Ooh, pretty. Perhaps Mega Man needs to go back and mop up the minions and secure the area for the safety of anyone else living nearby. Things to think about as I punch a dinosaur. More accurately, punch a dinosaur's platforms coming out of his belly back at him. Creative use of Rush Power Adapter upgrades Mega Man from a blockbuster to a Dragon Slayer! With a little bit of practice, this can be a safe and fun alternative to loading his nostrils full of bullets. Rush Power Adapter can also be used to push around these Xboxes to block off the tubes that are shooting out these birds and prevent them from coming out at you. Alright, let's see what Rush Jet Adapter can do. It can get us killed. Okay, so I need some practice with flying, but I am awesome at sliding. I am the Slide Master. Which would make Flip Top the Handout Master. Oh, and shooting too. I've gotten really good at aiming at fish. I'm the fish killer, the Bassassin? To prove how good I am now at killing fish, allow me to show you a rematch against Centaur Man. Part man, part horsefish. Anywho's, this is just to demonstrate for the people who watched my playthrough of Mega Man 6 that I can do this fight without getting hit. But enough of that, back to sliding! Yes! Okay, minor show-off montage, pick your favorite. Blowing up a wall and landing in the space that I just blew up, bouncing Night Crush off of my enemies and having it swing back around, quick floaty dodge of bird punchiness, or bouncing my projectiles off the other side of the screen. Personally, I would go with that! Unfortunately, not everything can be so impressive. Unless it's impressively clumsy, come on! Choose Fa-Blast! It's not that difficult! Or do I need to go back and practice my menu use, too? I'm too busy flying! Learning to fly! I don't have the time to practice these things! There, okay, I'm better at some things than others. Okay, I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna learn how to fly! Dancing is much safer. I'm good at the dance. I'm the lord of the dance. I'm bored of the dance. And bored of living, apparently. Maybe I need to pause, rethink this, and stand in the place where I am. Wait a second. That's not normal. That's not normal at all. while we're playing around with video speed, let's have a little bit of fun with... Actually, you know what? Slow motion is its own reward. By slowing down the video even further, we can see Windstorm loop back around to hit an enemy. Here it comes. I also need to speak more slowly to avoid running out of things to talk about prematurely. That's another one of the game's... Come on, I didn't have enough time to finish! It's another one of the game's little oddities, like being fully charged and not glowing and flashing. Then there are my little oddities, like holding down an A to do the chicken dance on a time bomb, and then forgetting that down an A also makes you slide. So that was an accident. I'm still awesome at sliding and at exploding. Really awesome at exploding. Yeah, just wiggle back and forth there, why don't you? Or did I say flex-sploding? Like, flexing your muscles so hard you blow up. Why is that in the floor? That's not fair! I choose you, Night Manitou! Actually, I guess he looks a little more like Caterpie? Night Manatee? The lesson here is, never fly a submarine. Ever. Here's something I didn't think was ever supposed to happen. How did I stand on that? That shouldn't even be possible. I'm confused. Beat is confused. Maybe it's just programmed like that. But there's more. And it's backwards. Backwards fire. Everything in this game is suddenly backwards. Stop shooting at your feet! And now we begin the close but no banana section. Ugh. 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 No, I'm sorry, too early. Ugh. That's better. This is the one that really gets me. I have totally, finally mastered flying, and yet... No. No banana. Banana. Okay, getting a little ridiculous here. Let me anchor myself. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Let me anchor myself here and begin the boring part of the video. Well, it may be boring to you if you're looking for something totally different and visually interesting, although maybe this is totally different and visually interesting. This is actual footage recorded from my practice sessions, which, had they have gone completely correctly the first time, wouldn't have been practice, they would have been final footage to have been included in my videos. This is a little behind-the-scenes peek at what exactly takes me so long to record these videos. Well, the video portion at least. Come back here. Come back here. Okay. I'll usually play through a stage a couple of times, just straight through, to get a feel for what the difficult parts are and where are some places I think I can show off. Once I get an idea in my head as to how I might show off, I spend the rest of my day trying out different approaches, practicing extensively, and failing miserably. I'll go back and forth, time and time again, until I either get it right, or decide that, well, maybe it's not really worth doing at all. Oh well. Then there are times when trying to doodle around with one thing, I'll discover something completely different. And then I'll try and repeat it. And then I'll cry. But after a good cry, I'm back at it again. And again. At this point, I'm convinced I can do this better. I should be able to get launched in the wall, not just explode. Although exploding seems to be very popular these days. There we go! A little bit lower down on the pillar, but still not quite there. There! Well, I'm satisfied. I'm a big proponent of extensive, creative, and unconventional special weapon use. This here is pretty dumb, but my unfocused experimentation often leads to some pretty fun bloopers. Oh yeah. When I can't think of anything in particular to do right off the bat for showing off, and or when I'm faced with a situation that has a lot of enemies all over the place, sometimes I'll just run back and forth to practice dodging and shooting awesomely, and see if anything visually interesting comes up organically, and if so, try and recreate it for my final footage. It's all about being able to replicate your results. Most of your results. That's why a stunt like this doesn't appear in my final playthrough of Mega Man 6. This screen looks like a death trap! And it is. But it also looks like a great opportunity for some clever usage of jet adapter. I figured it might be possible for me to fly very carefully above the spikes, through that little passageway, and climb back on the ladder. After extensive trial and error, I determined well, it might actually be possible, but it's not something I can reliably reproduce every time I play through the stage. Oh, but I got so close. So I decided to take it out of my repertoire of tricks for this level. Still, doesn't mean I can't add this trick to the bonus video. Alright, so for my victory lap to show everything that I have learned with flying, because now I am awesome at flying! Okay, but I'm still awesome at sliding.